My co-host is currently on the move for a very important a meeting she has today. So it's just me. But we're going to be talking about what I'm about to be covering in our program today. And we look at this in two ways. We look at, the first step in any situation is self coaching. So, how do you take these tools and apply them to yourself to get the results? And then we look at the concept of coaching others. How do we then take the tool and help guide other people through the process? But you have to start with yourself first. So self coaching and then coaching of others. And we look at who most needs these tools: leaders and high performers, people who want to be at their absolute best themselves, people who are leading an organization, leading a team, leading a group of people, leading themselves first and then leading others. It's the same reflection. So self coaching and then coaching others, leading oneself to be consistent and follow through it, then leading other people through the process. And so today we're talking about relationships. And as a coaching tool, as a tool for high performers or a tool for leaders, we look at this concept of you're going to have to be able to help people relate to others, whether it's relating to an intimate spouse, relating to their children, relating to their customers, relating to their clients, relating to their community. They're going to have to be able to relate, the relationship. And what we're looking at in today's longer training that's going to happen in about 40 minutes from now, we have a large group of people from all over the world who come and join us in this program where we're going to be sharing the in-depth version of this training, but I'm going to give you a micro version real quick. It's about alignment, which is two things: alignment in style and approach. And so, what is the big idea around this concept? Well, one, mastering relationship dynamics for deeper connection and overall growth. Meaning, if you're going to have a client who's going to stick with you for a long time. So, I have a personal coaching client who's been with me for 14, this will be 14 years. I've only been in business for myself for 15 years. So, they've been with me 14 out of 15 years. They took 1 year off, they just came back. And what is the relationship we've built together? So, what it comes down to, if we're going to have this ability to grow together, this long term client and coach relationship, this long term working situation, we have to make sure we're doing this part right. So, style and approach. The top three pains, if we get this wrong, just so you know, is persistent conflict and frustration. So, regular clashes due to mismatched expectations and incompatible ways of going about the style and approach of relationship. Number two, lack of emotional connection. So struggling to build a profound bond. One of us is seeking just the base level of a relationship, and one of us wants more. So I don't know. Have you ever felt that way, where you've been in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or it's an intimate relationship or it's a business relationship, where one of you actually wants more from it, but you don't know if the other person is able or willing to give more? I had a one-on-one session with a client earlier today, and we talked about three things. When you're looking at someone for the position on your team or as a spouse or partner, can they do the job? Meaning skill set. Can they actually do it? Do they have what it takes to do the job? Two, are they willing to do the job? Willing is an active word. Willing is I'm using my willpower. I'm willing to show up. I'm willing to do the work, not just when it's easy, but I'm willing to do the work both when it's easy and when it's hard. I'm willing. I use my willpower to show up and really deliver. And then third, so can they? Do they have the skill set? Will they? Do they have the willpower? Third, is it their nature? Is it natural for them to show up and do this work? Is it their nature to participate in this way? Is their nature to care about stuff like this? Is their nature to want to be curious about you or the process or the problem they're solving? That concept. So number one, persistent conflict if we screw this up and lots of frustration. Number two, lack of connection and caring about wanting to show up and really deliver. And then number three, stunted personal and relationship growth, limited opportunities for personal development, and we don't really evolve. So the partnership becomes stagnant. Have you ever had a relationship that became stagnant, whether personal or professional, where it just kind of flatlined? It wasn't really producing the magic that it used to. There's a way through this, but you got to understand style and approach. It's very important. The ultimate consequence, if we screw this up, is the relationship feels unfulfilling, challenging, and potentially leading to an emotional exhaustion and complete dissatisfaction. What happens when we get it right? When we get style and approach right, harmonious and fulfilling interactions. So a natural synergy of how you both show up happens, and all of a sudden it becomes very exciting to be part of something that's going somewhere together. Deploying more deeper emotional connection, meaning both partners in the relationship start to feel aligned. They start to feel like they're growing. They start to feel like 1+1=4. Like it's like there's a multiplication of possibility that happens by you two being together, which is really, really powerful. Mutual growth and exploration. So aligned approach paves the way for both partners to grow both personally and professionally, and it expands what you both have as people. So there's three parts. Number one, you got to understand the style. Number two, you got to understand the approach. And then you got to figure out, number three, how do you align them? Shoot, I got to jump, but I'm curious. I'm going to give you one piece of this. I'll give you which one is more important or more useful? I'll give you the approach. The approach is simpler. The style it takes a bit more unpacking. I'm going to do that in about 40 minutes for our live group. But the approach. So I'll really simply break this down for you. There's a wonderful book on this topic. The approach can be broken down into three different categories. Are they here to give? Are they here to get? Or are they here to trade? Give, get, or trade. If you broke down the approach, and you could only imagine, real quick, think of a relationship that you really value, whether it's your personal relationship, your intimate relationship, whether it's a specific business relationship with a client you can think of, a relationship with someone on your team. Real quick, just first thought, if you were to rate them, is that person who's in a relationship with you here to give, here to get, or here? So give, take, or trade. Real quick, top of your head, what would you say they're here to do? Now, the question with this is, does it make a difference? Does it make a difference if they're here to take, trade, or give? It absolutely does. There's a lot of research around this that shows the takers will get ahead in the beginning. The givers will end up behind in the beginning. The traders will kind of stay in the middle. But long term, the givers land up on top, achieving most of the results, the best peak results. The traders land up in the middle, and the takers land up on bottom. And I'm gonna explain why in the training I'm about to do live in 40 minutes. But I just wanted to toss this out here. This is one of the most important pieces you need alignment on, because if you show up thinking that relationships are about giving and you get paired up with someone who believes relationships are about taking, they will take everything they can from you and leave you high and dry on the other side. So I'm just trying to set you up for success and making sure you're showing up in the right way and really aligned on there's three of these most important factors from the very beginning. If you get them right, you get this incredible emotional engagement. You get this consistent growth. You get this real alignment with who you are. You feel incredibly fulfilled in the process. If you get them wrong, lack of emotional connection, constant conflict and frustration, and unmet expectations. And ultimately, it lands up in the relationship falling apart. So I hope this is useful. I'm going to go grab a snack real quick before I teach live. P.S. If you are working on your health, your relationships, your career, or your wealth, and you want to do some self-coaching where we take you through the full training of something like this and we help you apply it to your life and watch how things transform for the better. P.S. I'll read a couple statements that were sent to me earlier. They just made me smile. One of our members from Dubai said, I love our Core 4 community. Thank you, Jarek and Amanda, for designing this. Success is constantly studied and measured. Your weekly coaching sessions keep me on track and focused. I'm loving it. Thank you. Steven said, this group aspect of the program is amazing. The accountability as well as the group learning is incredible. Tom said, this is an amazing group. I'm so glad to be a member. Tiffany said, being in the room with you is always exciting and a new opportunity to level up. So just some feedback from people in the program. If you're interested in this, all you need to do is either go, or you can go to performancecoachuniversity.com/apply. Performancecoachuniversity.com/apply. We have a new cohort, a new group of members starting February 5th. So if you'd like to be part of that, you'd like to do some self-coaching on yourself, or you feel called to guide other people on your team or other clients through the coaching process, just go to performancecoachuniversity.com/apply, fill that out, and we will reach out and have a quick conversation to see if it's a good fit, and get you in our February 5th group. Okay,